Hi everyone, this is Ms. Paese presenting the work of Dr. Ashenbrand and Mr. Cherkassky and I, who work together in the Reading and Writing Study Group this year. We chose to work together because we share the same class, 821, and in speaking about the students and their work, we all agreed that the students had high-level ideas to express in each of our classes. And while we heard these ideas voiced in discussion, we did not always see it evidenced in their writing. Throughout this year, we each implemented different strategies in our classrooms. In science, Dr. Ashenbrand had the students implement a personal impact statement after doing research on the causes of different forms of cancer. Mr. Cherkassky asked the students to write a letter to Dr. Ashenbrand and I, who, according to the students, have no knowledge of math. And in this letter, they had to explain to us, I hope I get this right, the process for finding the vertex of a quadratic equation. Recently, we spoke to the students about their work. Here's what they said.
Like, in deeper writing, you always have to explain, and it doesn't matter what subject you're in every subject you have to explain.
Adding on to Diddy, I think that deeper writing comes from when you're passionate about writing something.
No, but I do think for me, deeper writing is different for each subject. For math, I would say it's more so showing that you understand the content and really explaining it. For science, it's relating it, I guess, back to what you've learned, and science always relates back to the world, which I think is what makes it deeper writing.
I also I do think that deeper writing sort of is not necessarily just explaining something, an event that occurs or something, but also explaining why. So you kind of, I feel like deeper writing helps me also realize how much I understand of the topic, and in places that I may need to.
After the students defined deeper writing in their own words, they shared some of the things that happened in their classrooms with writing that they found were very helpful.
I think that personally, especially with what we've been doing in ELA, which with our free writes, where we were given a certain amount of time and we just have to continue writing and we're not allowed to stop. We just have to spew out our ideas. I think that that's made me a better writer, and writing comes a lot more easily to me now. I used to have to take a lot of time to plan out my ideas, and it's still good to do that, but I can just do things more on the fly now, I guess.
As Adele said, a free write is a way for students to spew out ideas. The only rule is that they can't stop writing for the 5, 6, or even 10 minutes that they're writing, but they don't have to worry about spelling, grammar, or any of the typical writing rules.
In ELA, I was thinking that maybe for math we could maybe write about different ways that we like to solve a problem, because I know in math, especially for quadratic equations, when we were learning how to find the roots, we were taught 3 different ways, and I know I definitely preferred some ways over the others, so maybe we could free write about that.
For science, I guess what we did with personal impact for our cancer brochures, that's closest, I think, to what we could get to a free write, and it was fairly good. What we just wrote, what came off the top of our head about, I think it was cancer and its effects on people and their families. And just because a lot of people, they either know someone that's diagnosed with this disease, or they know someone who knows someone. So it's something that affects almost everyone, and just finding a topic like that and then having your students write about it, that could be a good idea for a free write. If we do end up doing free writes, I think that a discussion afterward is much more beneficial than not having one, because it's one thing to free write and get your ideas out, but it's also another thing to get other people's ideas, so that you have different views and perspectives and different ideas about the topic.
I find that the lists that we get sometimes are helpful, but I feel that sometimes we just go over the list oh, you did that good, oh, maybe you can improve on this.
It's too concrete.
And then, yeah, it's too concrete. And then when we're done, we're like, so.
There's not enough room for interpretation, I think, is what Jaden's trying to say. Like, we don't get enough, with certain checklists, we go by the rules and we don't really do deep writing, so that might be a problem.
Do you think
It was a surprise to us that our biggest learning this year in study group came from this conversation with the students.
I think teachers are, no matter how old they are, they're still like students. They can still keep learning, and now like they're learning, like they can learn better ways how to teach their students. Like now we're the teachers.